Over the past few months, there had been increased speculation and reports that Kodak Alaris will impose another price increase on film, effective March 23. This was confirmed about a week ago from the time of recording. Assuming a 20% increase, this will bring us a roll of Portra 400 at about £23 here in the UK, Gold at 17, Ektachrome at 28, and Tri-X at £15 per roll. Now, thankfully, this doesn't affect Kodak's motion picture department, which is actually a different company in the US. But let's put this in perspective. So, with the current prices here in the UK, you can buy a 400-foot roll of Kodak Vision3 500T for the price of £250, which, if you divide this by 72, which are the rolls that this is going to give you, 72 rolls of film, then you get 3.5 British pounds per roll of film, which is around 4 to maybe 4.2 US dollars with the current exchange. This basically means that you can shoot 5, maybe 6 rolls of 500T for the price of a single Portra 400. Yeah, so let that sink in for a second. Of course, price is not the only or the main reason to shoot cinema film, but I'm gonna leave that for another video. For now, let's have a look at how we can bulk roll from this 400-foot roll. Lately, more and more people are interested in shooting cinema films, and this is becoming a very common question on forums and subreddits. How do I cut a 400-foot roll down to 100 in order to use it with a bulk loader? So the solution is this. This is a respooler that is designed to do exactly that. It's small enough to fit in a dark bag, and it'll take you just a few minutes to cut the film down. It has 3 components to it. This is the main piece. Left side is for the uncut roll, as you can see by the size difference, and the right side is where you'll get your respooled film. Then you have the core that will take up your film, which you place on the right side, and the last piece is the crank lever. Once you place the film and tape it to the core, you will use the crank to start transferring. Now, the person who designed this has advised that when reaching 2 to 3 millimeters from the edge of the sidewall, this is when you know you have 100 feet, or by counting 140 full rotations. Now, I usually play it safe and leave extra room just in case. I don't want to get it too big and then have to cut it down again. Once you have spooled down the film, cut the cord and place your 100-foot roll inside the bulk loader as you would with any other film. Put back the big roll into the tin and proceed as you would bulk rolling your film. A small tip is to keep your film in the freezer if you're not shooting a lot. It is advised to use cinema film as fresh as possible, so if you're not going through it very quickly, then put it in a Ziploc bag and pop it in the freezer. Now, the question you probably have is, how do I obtain one of these? Where do they sell that? So this is a 3D printed piece, and you have 2 options. You either need a 3D printer at home, or you need to send the file to someone who can do the job for you. Thankfully, there is a website called Fiverr, which purpose is to connect you to freelancers from around the world. I learned about it through Nick Carver's video when he was trying to repair his Mamiya and ended up using Fiverr to print some 3D parts. So get in the website and type 3D printing. Now you can narrow down your search to find freelancers in your country. You will find various people that offer different services at different price points. Don't hesitate messaging them with the design files and ask for a quote before you make your decision on who to hire. Which brings us to the next question you probably have. Where do I find these 3D files? This design comes from someone under the username Broken Perfectionist, and you can download it for free from Thingiverse, a website where people share their 3D designs. As I said, the files are free to download and use, but I would strongly suggest giving the person a tip as a thank you for their work. There are extensive instructions and details on this piece, so take the time to read these. I've also written a very comprehensive blog post with all the details you might need. You will find all these links on the description down below. In my case, the respooler was printed, shipped, and delivered within 5 days, and it cost me £32, which I thought was reasonable. Now, if you have zero experience on bulk loading and you are looking to get into it, then have a look at the video's links in the description. They will help you understand the basics and get you started. It's definitely not a hard process, with the only trade-off being the time you spend on it. As I said in the beginning, apart from the joy of shooting these really nice film stocks, you benefit from the cost reduction. A single roll costs £3.5, and by developing a scanning at home, I have managed to keep the costs at around £5 per roll, down from 30. I hope this video helped you solve the bulk loading problem. I'm sure there are other ways of doing it, but this is a good option that doesn't require a darkroom or expensive equipment. If you have any questions, or if you would like to share your way of dealing with bulk rolling cinema film, let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.